Why time doesn't work the way you think. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Time series. Today's video is called Quantum Time: Why Time Doesn't Work the Way You Think. And I mean that literally, because the version of time you've been handed, it's broken, engineered, agreed upon. You've been trained to treat time as if it's real, rigid, and running out. But what if I told you none of that is actually true? What if time isn't just misunderstood, but fundamentally misrepresented? In this video, we're going to unpack time not just as a measurement, but as a mechanism of control, perception, rhythm, and even illusion. We'll start with the basics. What is time really? Who invented it? Who enforces it? Why do we all agree that there are 24 hours in a day when there isn't a single scientific reason that has to be true? We'll explore timekeeping from sundials to atomic clocks, the invention of master clocks, and how the world's timeline is maintained down to billionths of a second by less than 50 institutions on the planet. Then, we'll dig into one of the most important distinctions no one ever taught you: clock time versus brain time. This is where science meets psychology, and we expose the myth that everyone has the same 24 hours. We'll dive into perception science, show how your nervous system and emotions warp your experience of time, and teach you how to actually stretch or compress time using flow states, new experiences, and neuroplasticity. After that, we're going to deconstruct time as a construct. You'll learn what that word means in physics and in human society, why we created calendars and hours in the first place, and how these artificial systems don't reflect the actual experience or nature of reality. We'll ask the question, if time is a construct, then what's real? And if time isn't linear, is everything happening all at once? Finally, we'll enter the quantum realm, where time falls apart completely. Early humans used the movement of the sun and stars to create rough calendars, tracking seasons for planting and harvesting. The first timekeeping systems were solar time and sidereal time, based on the sun's path across the sky and the position of distant stars. As civilizations developed, more precise tools emerged: sundials in ancient Egypt, water clocks in Babylon, and eventually, mechanical clocks in medieval Europe. But all of these still relied on observing natural rhythms. Then came the modern era, and the shift from nature to machinery. In 1949, scientists developed the first atomic clock. And this is where time became something far more controlled and far more precise. An atomic clock doesn't use the sun, the moon, or the stars. It uses the vibrations of atoms, usually cesium or hydrogen. These atoms vibrate at incredibly stable frequencies, and by counting these vibrations, atomic clocks can measure time down to a billionth of a second. That's not a metaphor, that's literal. This is time reduced to a digital pulse. Let's define it clearly. An atomic clock is a timekeeping device that uses the predictable oscillations of atoms to measure time with extreme precision. These clocks are the heartbeat of our digital world. They power GPS systems, synchronize internet servers, regulate international banking transactions, and govern scientific experiments. In fact, the accuracy of atomic clocks is so high that they would only lose 1 second every 100 million years. The master clock. Who's running time on Earth? Now you might be wondering, who decides what time it is for the entire planet? Who's the referee? That would be the International Atomic Time, or TAI, a timescale that aggregates data from over 400 atomic clocks located in more than 50 national laboratories around the world. All of this is coordinated by the International Bureau of Weights and Measures, BIPM, in Sèvres, France. This is what scientists call the master clock. We'll explore quantum clocks, time dilation, simultaneity, and the shocking truth that at the smallest scales of existence, time either behaves unpredictably or disappears entirely. By the end of this video, you'll see time differently, because you'll no longer be a prisoner to it. This isn't just an educational video, it's a liberation. Because when you understand how time really works, you stop being controlled by it, and that's when you start using it. Let's begin. What is time really? And who's keeping it? Let's start at the foundation. What is time? You'd think that for something humanity talks about constantly, being late, running out of time, wasting time, buying time, we'd actually have a solid definition. But the truth is, even science can't tell you what time is. Only what time does. Time is defined by its function, not its essence. So here's a definition we'll work from. Time is a system of measurement used to sequence events, compare durations, and track change. But that doesn't mean time is real in the same way gravity or electricity is real. Time is not a substance. You can't touch it. You can't bottle it. You can't show someone time. What you can show them is movement, change, progression. Time is simply the label we give to the measurement of those things. This is why physicists call time a construct. Let's define that. In scientific and philosophical terms, a construct is a concept or model created by humans to help explain, measure, or organize the world. Constructs are useful. They help us function, but they are not necessarily objective truths. Money is a construct. Borders are constructs. And time? Time is one of the most powerful constructs of all. So if time is a construct, who built it? And more importantly, who's keeping it? A brief history of timekeeping. Thousands of years ago, we didn't track time with clocks. We tracked it with the sky. Let's make that clear. The master clock is the authoritative source of global time. It ensures that digital systems, stock markets, flight paths, scientific data, and communication networks are all in sync, down to the millisecond. But TAI isn't the time you actually see on your phone. That would be Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, which is derived from TAI but includes adjustments, called leap seconds, to keep it in line with the Earth's rotation. Why? Because the Earth is not a perfect clock. It wobbles, it slows down. The atomic clock and the planetary spin don't always agree. To back up the master clock, there's a global redundancy system. Dozens of backup atomic clocks fact-check and verify the timing data to prevent errors or corruption. It's a fail-safe designed to protect our most time-sensitive systems. In short, the world's schedule, your paycheck, your Wi-Fi, your GPS, is running on a network of invisible, vibrating atoms monitored by a few dozen labs most people have never heard of. Time is a present and a program. Now here's where it gets interesting. We've been talking about time like it's a neutral utility. But it's not just a measurement, it's a narrative. It's a structure. It shapes how you think, how you move, and how you feel. Think of the language. We're out of time. We're running late. There's never enough time. These aren't facts, they're frames. They create urgency, stress, a chronic sense of shortage. And they're programmed into our speech, our schedules, and our culture. You've probably heard the phrase, time is a present. It's a clever double meaning. Present, as in now, and present, as in a gift. This phrase reminds us that time isn't something you have, it's something you experience. The real power of time isn't in the ticking of the clock, it's in the awareness of now. And that awareness? That's something your brain creates. Which brings us to our next major section. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Manifestation series, where we don't just talk about manifesting, we master it. Because let's be honest, manifestation has been watered down, reduced to vague quotes, mood boards, and empty promises. But you didn't come here to wish. You came here to build a reality that hits different. A reality that responds to your frequency, your language, your alignment, and your decision to stop playing small. This series is not fluff. It's physics, frequency, and fierce creative power. Inside the Manifestation series, you're going to learn how to collapse timelines, shift identities, and speak worlds into existence, just like the greatest minds in history. This isn't just about being positive. This is about being powerful. Here's what you unlock inside. Vision to Reality, the Vision Board course. You've heard about vision boards, but you've never done them like this. This is a full energetic ritual, a precision-coded map for your subconscious, designed to bridge image, frequency, and strategy. It's not arts and crafts. It's blueprinting your future in visual form and turning it into matter. Time, quantum timelines, and why time isn't real. Manifestation doesn't take time, it takes alignment. In this module, I'll show you how time is just a mirror of energy and how to collapse timelines using choice, clarity, and vibration. Past, present, future, they're happening now. And when you know how to navigate time quantum style, you stop waiting and start receiving. Quantum jumping, instantly up level. Your next level life isn't years away. It's one decision away. In this training, you'll learn how to quantum jump, how to shift into a version of you that already has what you desire. This isn't fantasy. It's how high-performance creators, athletes, and spiritual masters leap beyond limits. Jump now. Land in power. Every word. The power of affirmations and spoken language. Words build worlds. In this course, I show you how to use affirmations like spell work, not just repeating empty mantras, but speaking with vibration, intention, and spiritual force. If you've ever felt like affirmations don't work, this will change everything. You'll learn to command your field, not just request from it. The greats, learning from the most exceptional minds in history. We're not the first to master this. In this legendary module, we decode the techniques, habits, and quantum genius of the world's most powerful manifestors, from ancient sages to modern icons. You'll learn how to think like the greats, move like the greats, and manifest like the greats. This isn't another feel-good series. This is a spiritual weapon, disguised as a manifestation course. It's made for leaders, cycle breakers, visionaries, and soul builders. You don't need another wish list. You need a system that teaches you how to bend reality. This is that system. So if you're ready to stop playing with potential and start creating results, welcome to your next level. The Manifestation series is open now. You know what to do. Let's build what they said was impossible and make it inevitable.